Hey everyone, welcome back to our book club. I'm Katina Lee, and if this is your first time here, every Sunday I go through one chapter of a personal growth book and I break it down in a way that's simple, honest, and easy to apply to your own life. Right now, we are going through the 4 agreements. This is week 4, chapter 4, don't make assumptions. And I just want to say something that I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You don't have to believe everything in a book to get value from it. So let's get started. Ruiz says that we make assumptions because our brains are wired to look for patterns, to fill in gaps. We see one piece of a puzzle and our mind races to complete the picture. But here's the catch. We fill it with fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of being unloved, fear of not being good enough. And so we assume that someone's silence means rejection, that a side glance means judgment, that a delay in response means disinterest. But Ruiz says the problem with making assumptions is that we believe that those assumptions are truth. We react not to facts, but to the fiction that we create ourselves. Ruiz ties this back to something from chapter 1, which is domestication. As children, we're taught to guess what others want from us, to read between the lines, and to behave in a way that avoids punishment. Over time, we begin to assume what others think, feel, or want, and we just forget to ask. This creates a culture of miscommunication where no one says what they really mean and everybody's guessing what everyone else means. And then we wonder why our relationships are so messy. This agreement hit me hard because there have been times in my life where I convinced myself that someone didn't like me or love me or was mad at me just because they were quiet. I didn't ask, I didn't clarify, I just assumed. And you know what I did with that assumption? I let it spiral. I reacted. I shut down. I blamed them for things that they never even said or did, all because I let fear write the story instead of truth writing the story. Ruiz doesn't sugarcoat it. He says, all the sadness and drama you have lived in your life has been rooted from making assumptions and taking things personally. Let that sink in. Every unnecessary argument, every broken relationship, every moment of hurt that came from a misunderstanding, so much of it could have been avoided if we had just asked. So why don't we? We don't because we're afraid of what the answer might be. Because we'd rather assume and stay in control of the narrative. Because asking feels vulnerable, and vulnerable can feel scary. But clarity is kindness. Ruiz encourages us to find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Not just to avoid conflict, but to build connection. So let's be real. You're upset because your friend didn't text back. But what if they're just overwhelmed? Your partner seems distant. But what if they're dealing with something that they haven't even talked about yet? You didn't get invited and you assume that they don't like you. But maybe they thought you were busy. They were making assumptions. Assumptions lead to isolation. Questions lead to understanding. Even one sentence can change everything. Hey, can I check something with you? Or, this is what I'm thinking. Can you help me understand if this is true? Here's what I need. Can we talk about it? It doesn't mean that the answer will always be easy, but at least it will be true. And the truth, that's where healing lives. So, here's your challenge for the week. Catch yourself in the story. When you feel hurt, anxious, or disconnected, Ask yourself, what am I assuming right here? Then breathe, and then go and ask instead of assuming. It might feel awkward at first, but it is one of the most powerful shifts that you'll ever make. I'm telling you, learning that agreement, not making assumptions, is so helpful in your life. So if you want to go deeper, I have created a free downloadable PDF, a full chapter summary. It's got some reflection questions and some journal prompts. You can grab it at my website, katinalee.com. Click on the YouTube Book Club page. There's no email, no catch. Just download and start exploring your own patterns. And let's talk in the comments. What is an assumption that has caused you unnecessary pain? Or what's one conversation you've been avoiding that might bring clarity? You're not alone in this. We are all learning together. I have a lot of learning to do. So next week, we are going to wrap up the 4 agreements with the final principle, always do your best. This is the one that ties everything together. Until then, question the story. Ask the question. Choose truth over fear. And I will see you next Sunday.